Hello.
And welcome to
Two
Filthy.
Nerds.
Cause we're filthy.
And we're nerds.
And there's two of us.
And it's you guys' fault for not writing us a theme song that we didn't ask you or pay you for. So you have to listen to this.
I think that should be our theme song. Producer Sam, can you isolate those vocals? They're pretty spot on.
Gold, I tell you.
Your voice, you're the next Dolly Parton.
That's why they pay me the
big no bucks.
Big no bucks. You guys, Happy New Year.
Hag Sameach. I always just have to put some Jew in that.
Hogs Medea. Wait, can Andy draw Medea in Hogsmeade?
Yes, Hogs Medea.
Wait, how do you say it for real though? Hosmedea. I know we just did this in the last episode. Hogs.
No, just Hog.
Hog.
H-A-G. Hog. Sameach. Hag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. There you go. Every episode, we're going to teach you to say one word in Hebrew, and it's the same word.
That's Hebrew. I was just going to say it's Yiddish, but it's not. It's Hebrew.
How do you keep up with the difference? Do you know both languages so well? That probably was a stupid question.
I don't know them that well, but I just know that which words are Hebrew and which words are Yiddish.
I guess in my mind, as someone who knows absolutely nothing, I'm like, it's when I mix up my French and my Italian words, and it's probably not at all. I'm like, is it fromage or formaggio? Cheese, if anyone's wondering. It's the only word I know how to say.
You know Italian?
Sì. Io sono italiano. Io parlo italiano un poco.
You fuck one Italian guy in Switzerland, and all of a sudden you're fluent.
Bene. Hey, we didn't fuck. He just picked me up and threw me against a wall, but like in a fun way.
Is it
years
ever not
ago?
a fun
This
way?
was a different Switzerland trip. Lest anyone think that earlier this year in Switzerland that was what was going on. No. Fortunately, I was committed to my love across seas, and more importantly, dying in the second room of a Swiss host. What a year it was. Oh, that was January last year. I mean, January of last year, I was touring Switzerland. Somebody sent me a message from somebody who runs a show in Austria and was like, she's the dirtiest comedian we've ever had. And I was like, this is it. I'm the dirtiest comedian in the world. I finally peaked. Let's not talk about where we were last year, though. We already did that.
Let's talk about 2021. The new year is upon us, you guys. It's supposed to be a big turnaround. That's
right. That means that this this century can finally drink. So who's getting loaded? The Y2K is of drinking age.
That's terrifying.
Christ on a cracker.
I mean, I'm really, as a 33-year-old woman, I'm, very shocking.
Yeah, as someone who aspires to one day reach 33, many years from now, I feel the same. That's the sound of me swallowing all the truth I just told to you guys. Listen. Okay, we got a clean slate. You know what? We're almost done with this book.
Does it feel like a clean slate, though? Does it? I mean, 2020, it left its paw prints on us.
It left more than its paw prints. It left deep residual trauma of which we may never recover. But
I think it dropped loads on us, and that loads stained shit.
Yeah, big stinky loads. Big hot
we all have skid marks on us from 2020.
We'll never get over our skid marks. Should we get matching skid mark tattoos?
Yes.
Look, if our podcast Patreon reaches to $20,000.
Yes. If we
by the end of this month, and that's patreon.com/twofilthynerds.
Jess and I will get skid marks tattooed
on our body
somewhere
below the neck.
I think it would be funny if it was just close to our butts.
Yeah, where someone's like, there's poop on your butt. You're like, no, that's just a tattoo of skid marks. And they're like, why would you?
It's fun. Some guy sees it on me and he's like, that's how I knew you were the one. You have fucking skid marks tattoo. My whole life I've been looking for that girl with a wild tattoo.
Yeah, if you meet that guy, run for your life. Head for the hills. He's going to skin you alive and use you to wipe his own ass. Listen.
I actually journaled about that this morning.
About
I
a
journaled
guy?
I journaled about what I want in a guy and what I want in kind of like my New Year's resolutions, like little
Lay it
goals.
on me. What are your little goals?
My little goals. Let me get my journal out, and I'll tell you.
Pick up my handy dandy notebook.
My handy dandy.
Shout out to Steve from Blue's Clues. Is he dead? Remember the rumor that he died of AIDS? Was that true?
All right, ready?
Our producer Sam is in the camera like, what in the fuck are you talking about? That was a real rumor. But I also, maybe in Mississippi, there was also a rumor that Barney got gunned down. So I don't know what's real.
That's how racist they are, that anybody who's not white gets murdered.
Even took out the no purple dinosaurs on our watch. Okay. What are your resolutions?
Okay, let's see. Okay. Here we go.
Any second.
Goals. Read more. Paint more.
What? When you say read more, are you getting specific? Just
books.
pick up more books.
Pick up more books.
Nope, that's not enough for me. You have to have SMART goals. Specific, and then there's 4 other words, and I don't remember them.
This is just my morning pages of me just vomiting shit onto a page.
What are you talking? One full book a month?
One book a month at least.
One book a month.
One book a month at least.
There's a club for that.
I want to do one fiction, one nonfiction a month.
Wow.
I want to read them because you can read fiction and nonfiction at the same time. It won't cross in my brain. If I'm reading two stories at the same time, won't be able to do it. I'll confuse the two stories.
When we started this, I was still reading The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and I was like, no, wizards are going to take over the world. And there's too many of them.
It's the tipping point of wizards.
There's too many wizards. We have to do away with them. They're killing the economy.
That's why I kept calling the sorting hat the tipping hat.
Tipping hat. I think that's a good. I was going to go for just one book, but maybe that's a good. No, they're my goals. You can reach higher than me. You're taller. One book a month. This is going to sound very ironic given the topic of our podcast and my love for what we're currently covering. Mm-hmm. I don't really care for fiction books.
Really? Oh,
I mean, clearly that's not true. Why do I think that, though? This is like my favorite series, and I'm like, I'd rather pass on the fiction. It's like, what have I missed? What dragons?
Also, no more self-help books. You know, like, well, I'm going to try not to do as many self-help books. I'm going to try and do, like, things where I can, like, learn shit. Maybe
I'm going
like
to write my own
book.
Self-help book to help myself.
Mm-hmm. Help me.
Yeah, that's literally, it's a journal, but it's sort of like.
That should be your next album.
Help me. Actually, can we write a whole pseudo self-help inspirational speech? I would literally record this. Can we record a self-help and can we just put fake audience sounds that are like, ooh, oh, help me. That really does sound like an album I would have.
Yes, it really
but
does.
But everyone would read it and go, help me. Like that's.
Maybe we should have a segment called Help Me.
Should we? Okay, let us know. Tweet at us or find us on Facebook at 2 Filthy Nerds, you guys. Would you guys want a segment where we give advice?
Maybe call it Help Us.
But only for ourselves. Or it's just some type of advice segment of which you should not take. I'm putting an advice segment on my other podcast. That's a fun thing. That's what I'm doing.
That's a New Year's resolution that you're going to accomplish.
I'm adding a terrible, sometimes advice segment, possibly. Maybe not at all.
I want to be on it. I want help. I want free therapy, bitch.
Come on. Come bring me a question, and I'll have you on for a segment.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you about trauma.
That's what I want to continue my healing.
Through my trauma.
Through your trauma. I want to continue to heal myself by viewing your trauma and going, well, I know what she's doing wrong. Too bad I can't help me.
Help me.
Help me. This,
I love that you pointed out that people are going to say, help me, help me.
I don't even know if this is funny or if we've just snapped. For the record, you guys, this was previously recorded before the year actually ended. We may be on our last stream.
Leg of 2020. Like,
if you want to see us,
we're hitting our breaking point as we speak.
And if you want to see us lose our mind in real time, if you haven't already, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/twofilthynerds. Cannot stress enough, if we reach $20,000 by the end of this month, I will get a tattoo of skid marks.
By the way,
so will Nicole.
I just quickly, speaking of skid marks, I just quickly want to let you know, I'm going to move this box here. It's hideous. I just want to quickly let you know that the extended squatty potty that we had upstairs, I moved it downstairs, and I put the weird wood one upstairs.
Why? You needed the extension?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I hope you guys got your squatty potty. By the time you hear this, I believe our code has expired because it expired at the end of the year. But try it anyway. Filthy20 at squattypotty.com.
My feet are too big for the wood one. It's really cute. It's great, but I have
hog's feet.
Hog's feet.
Giraffe's feet. What? No, I guess what animal has big feet? A clown is not an animal, but is it?
Is it?
Wait, so read more.
I'm gonna blast them real quick because I want to hear some of yours. Okay,
yeah,
so
blast me right in the face.
Ready? Paint more, love more, sex more, learn more.
Sex more. Like a fucking caveman.
Lean into my podcasts. Listen to more interviews. Get in shape. Write more. A lot more. Do some comedy again, maybe. At some point, it'll come back, and you don't want to suck too much. Finish the artist's way, finally.
That's funny. Write more. A lot more. At all, really.
Keep your eyes in your lane.
Keep your eyes in your lane?
Keep your eyes in your lane. Like, stop looking at...
Stay in your lane. Eyes on your own paper.
Yeah, whatever. I mixed them up.
Keep your eyes in your own lane. Yeah, quit looking around while you're driving. That's how you get in an accident in my car.
I heard this thing in one of my 12-step programs. One of mine. The only 12-step program I'm in. Somebody was like, you not only do you need to work on your own life, but you need to work on your thought life, like the thoughts in your head. Like, you need to kind of like do 12 steps for them. And you have to be better to yourself and your thoughts. So I basically said, I just want to be better.
You mean no negative self-talk?
Yeah, my thought life.
Here's what I've started doing to overcome negative self-talk. And I think this can help a lot of people. Anytime I say something negative about myself, like I do something and I go, oh, you idiot. You know, if I fuck something up.
Mm-hmm.
I then I look at my dog Moki and I go, Moki, why would you say that about me? That was rude. And then it's not self-talk anymore.
Oh.
Then it's the dog.
And it's projecting and delusion.
Yeah. And you know what? Delusion gets a lot of flack, but there are people thriving purely because of their delusion out there. That's my goal this year is I want to become more delusional.
Really? You're going to lean into delusion?
Yeah, I'm already halfway there. Look at me.
All right, my last one was money. Make money. Have a better relationship with money. All right.
Yes, that is a big one for me. Is that like, and here's the thing: I've spent years flat out like not caring about money. I mean, I don't like. I'm currently in like survival mode. Nobody likes that stress level of like I can't meet my basic Maslow's hierarchy of need bullshit. Like, I don't like that. I obviously don't want to be in that, but I have never made making money a priority. And I think this year I need to do that. I think it's like, you know what? And to me, that's part of acceptance. It goes like, yeah, I don't want money to be the core of who I am or what's important to me. But I also need to accept we live in a capitalist society. And for me to get the things I really want, which are like just joy and happiness, to be able to like get a state of calm, I have to have a little bit more money. Yeah. So, yeah, say yes to money.
Money, you know, everyone's like, money doesn't buy happiness. Well, no, it just buys you space to breathe.
I'm sorry. Those people have never been on a boat, okay? Money can buy a boat.
Money can
It can buy you a drink. Better relationship with money, better relationship with food.
Drugs. Money can buy you drugs.
And that's what we really need. I want to prioritize, for the first time in my life, wellness. And really before we go to break, if I can just shove one more of my goals in, I want to not be afraid to lean into and explore the things that maybe haven't always lined up with what I thought my goals would be. Like I always thought like stand up. Ugh. And there's things that I'm interested in now that I'm like, that's kind of dorky, or feel like all my stand up friends would be like, oh, fucking, you want to live.
You pussy.
You want to write a self-help book for yourself? That's gay. Because that's what they would say. That's not a funny joke, you guys.
Yeah, no, that's what they would say. That is absolutely what a comedian would say.
But, you know.
What are those things? What do those things include?
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting really into, like, I really enjoyed the CBT course I was taking. I know I'm not going to spend the money to get a master's degree in therapy because I simply don't have the money. And if I'm making having money a goal, that's a stupid investment. Something in finding a way to help others. I don't know what it is yet, but
help me.
But I think I have to help myself first. And what I'm going to do is help myself to a break. If you're going to the kitchen to get a snack, bring us one too. We'll be right back. Thank you. I stole that from Alf, 1989. I saw an old video.
That was Alf?
I saw an old VHS tape. Yes.
And he says, if you're going to the kitchen, get me a snack.
He says, if you're going to the kitchen to get a snack, bring me one too. I'll be right back.
Oh, that is so fucking cute. Can we adopt that?
Yeah, we just did. We fucking stole it. All right.
Okay, but we're always going to do it. Okay.
We'll be back.
We're back. Chapter 25, The Seer Overheard.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba-da-da-da.
What are you thinking?
The Seer, I was like, I was like trying to remember because I forget everything because I'm losing my mind. But the Seer, I thought of Trelawney. But then I was like, overheard. Like, did somebody overhear her? I don't know. But I didn't think.
Well, I mean, there was the story of the prophecy and like.
Yeah.
Somebody
but I was like, but I didn't,
her.
but I was like, I don't know what could have been overheard. I don't know. But the chapter kicks off with a scene we're very familiar with. Hermione in the library sleuthing around, digging up dirt. And she discovers this woman named Eileen Prince.
Come on, Eileen.
I swear you're the prince in this moment. You taught Harry everything about potions. Okay, so Hermione brings it to
potion in the ocean. I don't know why I said that. That was
more potion
that makes
than the
no
ocean?
sense. It was stupid. Sorry. She brings that to Harry.
She brings it to Harry, and she's like, I think the Half-Blood Prince is this woman. I think the Half-Blood Prince is not a man. We've been wrong this whole time. And Harry's like, come on. No chance. There's no chance.
Do this. Yeah, Harry turns into a 1940s man, just
madmen. He's like, you guys are secretaries. You're not princes.
You guys don't know things about things. You just talk.
You just talk about people. You just know people, places, things. You don't have big ideas. God, the comment section in the video is going to be going off with men being like, amen.
And as it should be. We're morons.
So Harry's like, nah, can't be. And then Hermione's like, what, motherfucker? I'm like the best witch here. And he's like, well, yeah, true. Then he's go.
Oh, no, just that he's like, look, I'm not saying a woman isn't capable of this. What I am saying is a woman would have much better handwriting. Also a sexist argument. I mean, that's pretty much what I can just tell. I can just tell it's a man.
I mean, I got to be honest. I'm looking at your handwriting on our big calendar in our living room, and you have spectacular handwriting. And I once dated a guy, I thought he was writing in hieroglyphs. So.
Are you assuming my gender?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
J.K. Rowling, give us money for talking about your book. We hate you. Okay, bye.
So then he gets a little heads up. Dumbledore's like, come to my office.
So he's on his way. It's another Dumbledore chat. And on his way,
he runs into Trelawney,
who is drunk, of course.
By the way, your reading of Trelawney, because we did a live reading of this. If you were on our Patreon, you'd be able to hear the live readings because we do them every now and then. Patreon.com/twofilthynerds. All right, plug is over. Yeah, we like to do
it for the big chapters, and this is a big section.
So Jess is really good at reading out loud, and she's really good at voices and accents. It's her thing. So just for you right now, we're going to give you a little thing. Tell us what happened, but through the voice of Trelawney.
Okay. Well, you see, I was on my way to she's by the way, she's just carrying a bunch of empty sherry bottles. And what's happened
shite-faced
is that she's clearly like run into I tried to go into the room where I leave all my bottles, but there was someone in there and they yelled at me and they threw me out. This is not the voice I do for Trelawney.
That's not. It's not. We'll just have you stop. Okay, so
I have to be reading the book to get into the character.
So Harry sees her and she's just fucking sauced up on the sherry,
but she's kind of like
confused
flustered
because she had tried to go into the room of requirements because she was gonna go hide her sherry bottles in there. A real hoarder.
Also, I'm sorry, but didn't we just last chapter? Or last episode, one of the more recent chapters, when Harry gets the Horcrux, not the Horcrux, fucking hell, the memory from Slughorn, he refills in that chapter. He refills their bottles.
Yeah.
Why is she hiding bottles?
Yeah, why is she hiding bottles?
Get one bottle.
She can also just make bottles out of thin air. Oh, but she's like kind of not the best
She's
wizard.
like a little squibbish.
Yeah, she's a little squibbish. Very, very true. So. But she's talking about, she went into the room of requirements and she's like, there was somebody in there and she heard that person laughing.
Like and
joyful,
whooping and
happy, excited.
Like they had just accomplished
She said
something.
it was a man's voice.
Yeah.
So, of course, Harry, man's voice, room of requirements,
Draco Malfoy.
For sure.
know it. So he's like, I think he convinces Trelawney to come with him. He's like, I think you should come with me to Dumbledore and let
tell
him know
him
what you
this.
heard.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe he wants someone to corroborate the like Malfoy thing.
Yeah, I think finally Harry's like, I mean, I am really pushing this Malfoy thing super hard and not everybody's on board with it.
Yeah, and so on the way, casually, in terms of talking about her ability to see and whatever, not even ability to see. She's talking about before she got hired at Hogwarts, she was staying at Hogsmeade. And she was talking about when she got interviewed by Professor Dumbledore. She has no recollection of
what
actually doing the prophecy. But obviously we know that's when it happened. It becomes clear. And she tells Harry that something happened, and when Dumbledore goes to like leave the room, Snape was right on the other side.
He was eavesdropping the whole time.
So in her mind, because she blacks out when she has prophecy, she's like, obviously he was trying to hear how I did because he had an interview coming up as well. So he wanted to like prepare himself. But Harry is like, no, he was...
No. He heard the prophecy.
Because somebody told Voldemort about the prophecy.
Yeah. And so Harry automatically just assumes he's the one who, and he was right. He wasn't wrong.
It had to be. It had to be.
be.
Who else would have told him?
So now Harry is fucking amped. Okay, he is ready for blood.
He's like blind rage, rushing to Dumbledore's office. Like
tells Trelawney to stay where she is. He's like, "You stay here. I'm gonna go ahead."
Also, I don't get that.
Neither do I. Why would he have her just stand there? Oh, because what he's gonna talk about, she can't hear.
Oh, I guess so.
So
he gets there. Know that she did all of this.
So he gets in there, and Dumbledore immediately is like, before Harry can even go off on Snape, he immediately is like, Harry, I found another Horcrux. Do you want to come with me to go get it?
Would you like to join me?
And Harry's like, yeah, and is still flaming about Snape. So they head off. They go to get the Horcrux, and on the way there, Harry's like, hey, listen, I heard from Trelawney that Snape overheard the prophecy and that he's the one who told Voldybuns.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Why didn't you tell me that? And will you do
Severus Snape made a great mistake. I mean, that's what he's like. Literally,
he's like he made a mistake and he felt bad about it.
Yeah, what a whoopsie daisy. My whole family's dead. Oh, he made a boo-boo.
How bad did Snape feel about it? He treats Harry like shit all the time. Yeah, I call bullshit.
Yeah, and Dumbledore, by the way, tries to be like, he says he believes that this is Snape's biggest regret.
Yeah. Is it? It sure seems like a huge regret.
Yeah, he's like, yes, he was working for Voldemort at the time, but he thinks because of what happened.
Or, I just had the thought, or maybe he resents Harry because it represents to him his lapse of judgment. It's just a constant reminder of how bad he fucked up.
That he fucked up. Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And again, Dumbledore ends the conversation with, he's like, I completely trust Severus Snape.
Yeah,
and
it
Harry's
gets
like,
tense.
this is stupid.
This is the first time that Harry kind of claps back, and Dumbledore's like, that's enough.
Oh, yeah. And then he's
it's
like, get out of here. Do you want to go get the Horcrux or not? Grab your cloak. Meet me out front. 5 minutes. See you then.
Yeah.
Break.
So Harry runs back to the dorm, but then he gives Harry and Ron, or not Harry and Ron, Hermione and Ron, the Marauders map, kind of gives them the quick download, and he's like, you guys need to keep an eye out. Something is happening. He tells them about Draco Malfoy. It's not good. He's like, get as many people from the DA as you can, patrol the hallways. He gives them his Felix Felicis, like...
And he's like, if anything goes wrong, take this.
And they're like, you need it. You're going to find a Horcrux. And he's like, I have Dumbledore. Which is basically being like, you guys are weak-ass bitches.
Yeah. You guys are weak-ass bitches. You need the fucking Felix Felicis to save your fucking ass. And I'm going to be with Dumbledore. And the truth be told is we're going to save each other's asses.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously worried about whatever went on with Draco. And, like, he knows he's not going to be there. He knows Dumbledore's not going to be there if something crazy is happening. So that's that. That's the chapter. And then shit starts to stir. Chapter 26. The Cave. Now, when I read this chapter, forgetting what happened, I was thinking, wow, a whole chapter named after Nicole's asshole? That's crazy.
Oh.
How did they know?
How did they know that cavernous retreat?
Is
it really is. Do you like splunking? Try my anus.
Hello. Oh, no, the boat is sinking. I don't even know what the boat is in this terrible
Grab
metaphor.
the Colin broom. Sweep the cave.
Oh, Colin Broom nearly ruined this podcast today. The people watching live, they may not know that. I don't know if we had gone live when I was having a near-death experience.
Earlier, Jess had to throw Andy out of the bathroom so she could drop a fucking load.
Shit was a sweepin'. Okay, so...
So this kicks off with this crazy fact, and I forgot about this, that the cave is the place that Voldemort tortured the orphans when he was in the orphanage.
Little kids.
Yeah,
when he went on a trip, years ago, that the woman
they went on a
running the
field trip,
orphanage has recanted, like, they've just never been the same. So in this same cave, which is just so interesting because it speaks to, like, his kind of need for trophies or, like, sentiment.
Yeah. A real sentimental guy.
Which, and this cave, by the way, is not easy to reach. Like, they get there
treacherous.
And it's like, sorry, they took a bunch of kids here? It's like, no, they were down probably closer to the
I was
village.
actually thinking that too. I feel like he just wandered off with the kids and was like, hey, come here. And they were kids. They're smaller. They can probably navigate boulders better. I'm just thinking, how the fuck is Voldemort? And by the way, why didn't Voldemort just, like, levitate them down the cliff? Like, why are they going down this treacherous cliff? That makes no sense to me.
I don't think he wasn't fully developed in his magic yet. He was just, like, able to make little things happen. But
but I'm saying, I didn't mean Voldemort. I just fucked it up again.
Were you talking about Dumbledore?
I'm talking about Dumbledore. Like, why are they clumsily going down?
There's probably, I would assume he is aware that there's probably extra magic around to keep people from fucking around. The same way he puts magic around Hogwarts.
Dumbledore puts some magic there.
So, yeah, they are walking. And Dumbledore, by the way, is like 500 years old.
At best. At best.
I once had to climb Ephesus. Was that where I was? I was somewhere in Greece climbing something historic with my grandma. And they had steps. I mean, it was like, and she was only in her
grandma?
80s. Yeah. May God rest her soul. But what a hassle. It took like 3 hours longer because she just kept having to stop to take breaks.
People are the worst.
And he doesn't even have a cane. So they climb down this cliff. They swim, by the way, across a lake to get to the cave in like icy water.
And then they finally get to this little alcove.
You think Dumbledore has abs? I mean, like, he just got in that thing, put his wand in his teeth. It was like, let's go. And swimming in a robe, that's fucking hard.
A lot of drag. That is a lot of drag. He's in drag. Do you think drag queens, any of them, dress up as Dumbledore?
Dumbledora. That's what I want to see.
Dumbledore the Explorer.
Did you see that video I sent you of?
Wait, mashup for Andy. Dumbledora.
Oh, my God. That would be great. I wish he listened to my podcast. Then he would just hear all these great ideas because I forget them.
Dumbledore. I'm going to write it down.
Did you get that? There's a video, by the way, somewhere on the internet of a drag queen fully dressed as Voldemort.
No, that's amazing.
The drag queen's name is. I think the
so
drag queen's name is Florida Man, which is funny.
Oh, that's really funny.
It's amazing though. Anyway, they get to the cave, and
Dumbledore has to use blood to get into.
Yeah, he has
it's
to
hidden.
Feel
he has to
around.
find it, and then he has to fucking cut his arm so he can use his blood to open the rock. I don't know why Dumbledore just knows these things, but he just knows these things.
What's crazy to me is that there's so many of these traps, and none of them are set up to alert Voldemort. Like, he's so confident in his traps, he's like, I don't need to know. Nobody's going to make it to the Horcrux. They can just die.
Yeah. They're going to... Listen, let's give them a little bit of hope as they're getting in, and then once they get there, bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, they get in. There's a pitch black lake, and there's only a tiny bit of light. It's coming from the middle of the lake. There's a little glowing green light far out there on a tiny little island.
Is like, that's it. That's where we gotta go.
Which, like,
how they get there, though?
No, he's doing more of his, like, he's feeling the wall. It's like he can sense magic energy.
Yeah.
It's like wizard Reiki or something, but. Because it doesn't really make sense, and it feels like Harry's kind of like, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
Like, what class is that, is what I want to know.
To me, it really seems like Dumbledore is the greatest wizard ever, and he kind of withheld a lot of information to keep that position.
Yeah, that he just pretended to be, like, a pretty decent wizard.
Yeah. Like, why doesn't anyone come close to him? There's got to be a reason. He knows shit. He destroyed books. He read shit in the library and then was like, these are going to go away forever.
I mean,
and that's how he became the best wizard ever.
Arguably, Voldemort comes close to him.
Okay, so then there's these two guys who are like leading the pack, know all the shit that other wizards don't. And they're, you know what? They were probably friends at one point, and they were like, you know what? We should really fucking destroy all these books so nobody can be as good as us.
No, Dumbledore's always been good. Here's what I think. It's like, why isn't everyone as good as... I'm trying to think of someone to name with a certain skill. Like, why aren't we all as smart as Elon Musk? We're just not.
I know, but there
He's
are
not
people
even that
who
smart.
are. There are people who are smart as him. Okay,
yeah.
It's not like the way Dumbledore and Voldemort are described is that they are just like leagues beyond everyone. Like, there's never been a wizard as comparable as these guys.
I think there's a lot to be said about natural talent, but also putting in work to hone your skills. Whereas a lot of times, I don't think anyone would argue with this. People who are really talented at something naturally sometimes get lazy about it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the natural talent and you work as hard as someone who doesn't have it, you're going to be better than everybody else. That's that.
Yeah, that's Hermione. But I think Hermione has some natural talent, but I think that girl's work ethic is the best there is, and that's why she's
who she is.
Yeah.
The greatest witch of her age.
So Dumbledore summons a boat from within the lake.
Yeah, he's also very adamant. Like, he repeats to Harry, do not touch the water.
Yeah. He's like, there's something amiss.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows 100% that touching the water would fuck things up or if he's just highly suspicious. But, I
think Dumbledore knows. I think Dumbledore knows a lot more than he lets on. He knows that there's shit in the water. He knows what's up.
Really?
He's like, Harry, don't touch the fucking water. Because he's fucking Dumbledore. This isn't his first rodeo. He just fucking knows.
That's true. So he pulls this weird boat out of the water and again is like, don't touch the fucking water. And this is a small boat. It's really not meant for two people. So they kind of have to squeeze in. So they're like squeezing in this little boat, standing up, trying not to fall out, trying not to touch the water. And as they're crossing,
they look in the water and they see fucking
Harry's
dead bodies.
Yeah. Harry's like, holy fuck. I just saw a hand. There's a face. And it's Dumbledore's kind of like, yeah, we're probably not the first ones to try to do this. Like, no big deal. This is what happens.
Why would
don't touch the water.
I do not think anyone else tried to do this before them. I absolutely 1,000% do not. I think Dumbledore brought in those bodies and put them in there. How many other people are
who brought
figuring
in those bodies?
I mean, fucking Voldemort. Voldemort brought in those bodies.
Bitch.
I'm gonna fuck it up forever.
You think he dragged a bunch of bodies?
Yes. Why?
Cliff?
Who? If it took the smartest wizard in the goddamn fucking world this long to find the Horcrux, why would anyone else have figured it out before?
Let's back up. he may be the smartest wizard in the world, but he is also running a school, and that is a full-time job. He hasn't been able to sit around.
Where is anyone else coming up with
the
the idea to
finger
go
up
look
his
for one
ass.
of the Horcruxes that Voldemort put himself into a fucking few years ago?
What about people who knew Voldemort? Oh, who knows when he started doing Horcruxes? Maybe he confided in someone. Maybe
No,
these are all the dead bodies of
He
old
wooed
Death
people
Eaters.
in there. He wooed people in there, and they put the bodies in there. Anywho, so there's these bodies. They get to the island. There's this like glowing green basin, and there's this like water in it.
It's like
And
green
Dumbledore's
liquid,
like,
right?
what? This green liquid. And Dumbledore's like, the Horcrux is definitely in the bottom of this liquid, but you can't you can't take the liquid out. You have to, he's like, I'm going to have to drink the liquid.
The liquid. Yeah, they like try to touch it and physically cannot.
yeah,
move
you
their
can't.
hands, but when he pulls out a goblet, you can scoop the
you
goblet.
can scoop it out. So he starts, but before he starts scooping, this was freaky for me. He was like, Harry, no matter what happens, you must make me keep drinking.
Well, he had said before they went on this whole journey,
yeah.
he's like, you can only come if you promise you will do everything I tell you to. If I tell you to run, you must run.
If I tell you to hide, you hide.
If I tell you to leave me behind and go back to Hogwarts, you fucking leave me behind.
Yeah.
And Harry agreed to that. So yeah, he's like, I mean, this is just classic movie. For some reason, I'm now thinking of Young Frankenstein when he gets locked in the chamber with the monster. He's like, no matter how hard I beg, don't let me out. And he's like, no, please, God. But like, yeah, it was that moment of he's like, I have to finish drinking this. I don't know what it's going to do to me. You have to make me finish.
So he starts drinking. And of course, what he says is going to happens. And he's like in pain, in agony, screaming. He's like, Harry, I can't, please. No,
Please,
I don't want to drink anymore.
kill
It
me.
hurts.
Yeah, he's like, no more. Anything, please stop. I don't want to live anymore.
And Harry's just like fucking Bill Cosbying him. He's like, drink up, bitch. You know? Just like, you take that fucking liquid.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy. And they get to the like last bit. There's a last bit left, but Dumbledore is like, oh, I need water. Like he's desperate for water, and Harry has no water. He tries to aguamenti in the cup.
Abracadabra into the cup.
Aguamenti. He fills it up, but it immediately goes away. Like the water immediately disappears, so he can't get it to Dumbledore.
So then Harry, fucking rookie move, bends down to the water he's been instructed not to touch.
But I think it's one of those things where he's like, I don't know if he realized at this moment that it's set up that you're going to have to touch the water.
Yeah.
I think that, oh no, Andy's on camera. Hey, you guys got a peep show. Sorry. I moved you off. I didn't know you were going to take your shirt off. Oh, you were just taking your sweatshirt off. Okay. It just came up. You guys get it. Every single person who's in the chat of our Patreon. I don't believe any of you are the kind of people who take off a sweatshirt and your shirt doesn't come up with it. None of us are. We're humans. What are you, Dumbledore? Anyway. Yeah, no, he's just like desperately needs water, and he's, watching one of his heroes die. So yes, he dunks it in the water, and that's when shit gets crazy. The bodies
come to life.
They
wake up.
Yeah, they become inferi, which in his
and
defense,
all of a sudden it turns into the
not
Walking fucking Dead.
Yeah, everyone's like crawling out of the water. They're climbing onto the island, just like reaching for Harry. Very zombie-ish, just like.
By the way, if this isn't in the movie, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
It would be insane if they just cut this out of the
This
movie.
is like so cinematic. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
We don't have the budget for zombies. We blew it all on that one scene with the house elves. So just I don't know. Just
by the way, did Dumbledore drink that water that he handed him?
I think he did.
So then
I think it was just water.
Because it helped him enough that Dumbledore was like, get to the boat. And then as they're in the boat and the fucking dead bodies are coming in, Dumbledore's like, ring of fire.
Well,
and
also you're forgetting that while Dumbledore's there, like, he drinks the last of the stuff, and while he's there, like, dying, Harry snatches the locket that was in the bottom.
Wait, who was holding the locket? Dumbledore or Harry?
Harry.
Okay.
I think grabs it. No, Dumbledore grabs the locket. That's right. Dumbledore grabs it.
Dumbledore grabs it because later on, whatever, we'll get to it because I have questions about what happens to the locket.
So yeah, Harry's like trying to shoo him away with just like freezing curses and shit like that, and it's not working.
Yeah, nothing.
And Dumbledore, who had mentioned to use fire if anything happens, uses fire, and Harry's like, "Oh, I forgot because I panicked." But
yeah, you know who would have remembered? Fucking Hermione.
Yeah. I fell into a burning ring
of fire. Ring of fire.
Apparently the Inferi and water don't mix. So they are all like back away, and they travel with this circle of fire around them. And then they leave the cave, and I mean, he's like dragging Dumbledore at this point.
This feels like a Vietnam movie at this point. He's just dragging his ass out of the brush.
Don't
like,
give
come
up
on, man,
me,
I gotta
sir.
get you back. We're gonna do it. You're gonna get back. Tell my lady I love her. No, you tell her. You're gonna tell her yourself.
You are not gonna die out here.
Don't die on me, Dumby.
And then Harry has to apparate both of them back, which like he's never done, by the way, on his own. He held his arm again to
genuinely
apparate
worried.
him. Yeah, it's like, what if he only apparates like half of Dumbledore and he leaves the arm with the locket behind?
What if he pulls a Ron and leaves an eyebrow like a fucking loser?
I think Dumbledore would be fine without an eyebrow. He could.
He probably has enough eyebrow on one eye that he could just transplant it to the other.
Yeah, but he makes it. They apparate back in Hogsmeade, just middle of the night, middle of the street of Hogsmeade. Here they are, and that is the end of this chapter, which is fucking insane.
Here we go.
Yeah, we will be back after a break for chapter 27, which, if you know the book, you know is going to get fucking crazy. We'll be right back. Chapter 27, The Lightning Struck Tower. Now, let me ask you this. When you read this title, did you remember a couple chapters back that Trelawney had said this phrase?
No, I forgot about that. Now I remember.
2 chapters ago, she's like, I've been trying to warn Dumbledore, and I've been seeing things. The lightning struck tower. All talking about her cards that she runs. She's like, the lightning struck tower, and it's just getting worse and worse. Like, that's one of her cards.
All this time, fucking Trelawney's like, you're fucking crazy, and then this one time.
And everyone just like, no one believes anything she says, despite the fact that she's had these extremely important premonitions. They're like, fucking
this
drunkie.
A little too much of the sherry, hitting the bottle a little too hard.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay, so we start off in Hogsmeade where we left off.
Yeah, they apparated in the streets of Hogsmeade. The Dark Mark is
above the tower.
Over the astronomy tower of Hogwarts. Holy fuck. And if you don't remember, that means that there are... Dark Mark usually means somebody has died.
Uh-huh. At the hands of the Death Eaters.
Yeah, so they obviously are like, there's clearly Death Eaters in the school.
Uh-huh.
Dumbledore and Harry, this kind of like ignites a little bit of energy into Dumbledore, because he was really like...
Yeah, Dumbledore was low, and then he just took like a bump of some Ritalin, little like fucking Adderall, just a key bump of some Adderall. Yeah,
and Madame Rosmerta saw them apparate in the street. She runs out, and she's like, oh my god, what's happening? Hurry! And Dumbledore's like, get us... We need to borrow brooms from your place to fly up there. Because he's like, we got to get straight to that tower. So, what's his name? Harry Potter.
That guy. What's his name again?
Tries to Osseo brooms from Rosmerta, and they come immediately. But this reminds me, we didn't mention it in the last section, but at the beginning of their journey to get the Horcrux, he tried to just go, Osseo Horcrux.
I forgot about that.
But I like that Dumbledore's like, no, why don't you go ahead and try? Like, because wouldn't it have been funny if Dumbledore's like, oh, I really would have thought it would have been harder than that. Anyway, they fly up, and Dumbledore, they get to the astronomy tower, and it's just empty and weird, and Dumbledore tells Harry, go and get Professor Snape. He's the only one that can cure me. And
Harry's beaten feet out.
Yeah, of course. But he hears people coming up the footsteps, and then right before a door opens, Harry becomes suddenly frozen. Like he's struck with an immobilization curse, which he realizes
Dumbledore did
seconds later, because Dumbledore gets hit with an Expelliarmus by someone.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he must have.
So now,
done
he's wearing it. And Dumbledore, before they went in, he's like, put on your invisibility cloak. So now he's frozen and invisible.
Yeah, he's just hidden in the staircase, can't move, can't speak. also, like, I'm sorry, is there not a counter jinx to this frozen spell that it's like we saw him do a spell without words when he, I think, refilled the glasses.
Yeah.
That's like, it's like,
why can't you do that when you're frozen?
Yeah, you got frozen before by Malfoy. You didn't think maybe this is something I should make a priority to learn?
Completely. By the way, he got frozen twice in a book. Come on, Harry.
Just like it's like this is your weakness. Your kryptonite is just shitty freezing.
But yeah, can you
spells?
when you're frozen, like, is your everything frozen? Like, to do a wordless curse, like, are you unable to even do that?
I don't know. I imagined being, this is going to be dark. I imagine being frozen is like what I imagine it's like to have like ALS, where like your
you're
brain is intact and your body is like just
you can't
doesn't get the signals, which is I can't, like, a fucking nightmare.
That's a nightmare. And especially because Harry has a fucking hero complex. He wants to save the day.
Yeah, but it's like, he maybe got lucky with the wordless spell before. He's not good at them. We know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dumbledore's wandless. Harry's trapped under an invisibility cloak. And he realizes, he sees Dumbledore's wand fly out, and he's like, why did Dumbledore try to protect me instead of defending himself? Because he's thinking, there's Death Eaters coming, and who should walk through the door?
Draco motherfucking Malfoy.
That's right. Pointing his wand at Dumbledore. Like he's going to kill him. Like, he's got him cornered. And there's this moment of, like, Harry was right. Why didn't anyone listen? But, like, Malfoy is not comfortable, to put it lightly.
And what's crazy is that Dumbledore isn't even sweating it.
Not
He's
at
like,
all.
Come on, Malfoy. You're not a killer. And
Like, he gets into a conversation with him. Yeah, and he's, like, shaking. And I, even when we were reading this, because we, like we mentioned before, we do live reads with our patrons, patreon.com/twofilthynerds. I got a little emotional, like, with Dumbledore going, like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You can
that
come
was
over to the
fucking
right
intense.
side. I can find a place to protect you. We can get your mother. We can protect your family. You do not have to do this.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I have to do this. I have to do this.
He's like, he said, if I don't do it, he'll kill me.
Yeah. And then, thinking he might be making some headway, he's not, because then all the Death Eaters fucking show up.
Yeah. But by the way, seconds after Dumbledore was like, you're not going to kill me. If you were going to kill, you're not a killer. You would have done it already.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be having a chat with me.
Yeah.
And so all these Death Eaters come in. One of them, by the way, Fenrir Greyback, who we know is the werewolf that likes to eat kids or bite kids. I don't know.
And he's also the werewolf that made Lupin.
Yeah. He's like a fucking scary dude.
Yeah.
And then there's these two others that seem to be like brother and sister and have some sort of like hunchbacks or whatever. And some other, I guess that was the big.
And so they're all cheering. They're like, coaxing
Malfoy,
Draco
like,
on. He's like, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And like, none of them can do it because it has to be Draco who kills
it becomes very
Dumbledore
clear that,
because
like,
that's Voldemort's order. Voldemort's orders.
Yeah, he's been like nobody else. So it's one of those things where, like, I think as one of these sideline Death Eaters, first of all, if you're really like pro dark wizardry, you want Dumbledore gone.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to be the one that killed Dumbledore? Like, I did it, but also
all these Death Eaters are like, dude,
you need to fucking do it. Our boss,
you need to do it. Like,
he's on all of our assets.
We want to do it, but like Voldemort will kill us if we kill him instead of you killing him.
Yeah, and it's just sort of this like stalled moment, and then all of a sudden, who bursts through the door?
Oh God, it was Severus Snape.
Snape.
He bursts through the fucking door.
Snape.
And
what were you thinking when Snape showed up? The second he showed up, were you like, where was your head at? Because you've gone back and forth on like, he's good, he's bad, he's good, he's bad.
I mean, we'll talk about it afterwards.
What do you mean? After we get through the scene?
Once we get through this scene, yeah.
For those who are just listening, Nicole is like clenching her temples replaying
By the way, replaying the story. By the way, just hearing it when Jess was reading it, I was shitting the bed. It was so tense, so scary. We'll talk about it in a second because there's something important that you guys need to know that I know.
Okay, so all Snape runs in. All the Death Eaters are basically like, Malfoy can't do it. He won't do it. And then Harry hears Dumbledore like pleading with Snape, like, "Please, Severus, no." Please.
And this is a voice he's never heard him use before, ever.
Terribly frightened.
And then Snape, with this like fucking sinister look in his eyes,
raises his wand to Dumbledore.
And then drops
Avada Kedavra.
A hard AK.
Yeah, a hard AK.
Just
pulled out his AK and blasted it. And Dumbledore gets blasted off of the astronomy tower.
Into the air, off and away.
Just whoop, out of sight.
And Harry is frozen, invisible, sees this whole thing. He can't even scream.
No, Harry's scream of horror never left him. Silent and unmoving, he was forced to watch as Dumbledore was blasted into the air. So there's nothing he could do. He just watched Snape, who he's been suspicious of the whole time. Kill.
Not only has he been suspicious of Snape the whole time, has been suspicious of Malfoy the whole time. So here's two people who Harry's been saying, these guys are wolves in sheep's clothes, a million fucking times. No one listens to him. Well, some people listen to him, but
they don't do, but they do
nothing.
We need a smoking gun. We need a smoking wand,
What'd you say, Sam? Who does?
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's right. That's, to be fair, we did kind of blast over the fact that Dumbledore did admit in the conversation with Draco, all of a sudden it becomes clear that he's been painfully aware of all the attempts. So Harry's also getting this download of like, so
you
he's like
knew this and you've just been letting... But here, okay, so let's give a quick breakdown of what just happened in this chapter, because it's important to know that I had a spoiler before this book where I found out that Snape killed Dumbledore. And
at the beginning of the book, before you read anything.
Before I even read the book, I found that out. I didn't know what the circumstance was. I didn't know what the situation was.
Having heard that, let's let people know in case they skipped over. We did mention it, but we told you guys to skip at the very beginning of this book. When you heard that, no context of this book, what did you make up or what did you think what could possibly be the reason for Snape killing Dumbledore?
At first, I thought it was because he was evil. But as soon as the scene with Malfoy's mom, Narcissa making Snape promise to do
the unbreakable curse.
Yeah, the unbreakable curse.
To do the thing that Draco, if Draco can't do it.
If Draco can't do it. So, but after this whole thing, and
when you read the chapter with the unbreakable curse, you thought like still evil?
I thought if anything, he killed. Basically, he killed because he had made this promise. Like, I didn't think he actually wanted to kill Dumbledore. And I think, here's my theory. I think that Dumbledore and Snape had this planned beforehand. I think Dumbledore knew what was going to happen.
Get blasted off the whole scene?
Yeah, because he needs Snape on the inside of the Death Eaters.
I mean, I could see where you could glean that little nugget, but you didn't think he seemed genuinely impressed or shocked by the fact that Death Eaters had gotten in his school? You think he would have allowed Death Eaters in his school so that
I think he said to Snape, he goes, in the circumstance that this happens, this is what you do. This is how I want it done.
Like in the circumstance that he's faced with Malfoy.
Yes. In the circumstance he's faced with Malfoy, he's like, you kill me.
You kill me if he can't.
If he can't. Don't, because I need you to keep up this charade that you're a Death Eater.
How does that serve Dumbledore being dead and Snape still being
on
the inside?
I don't know, but that's my feeling. And I just think how many times, especially when they were going to the Horcrux and everything, and now knowing that he knew about, all the shit with Malfoy, when he was like, oh, you tried to poison them, blah, 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 blah. You tried to poison me in these different ways. Knowing all of that, when he said on the way to get the Horcrux, when he's like, that's his biggest regret. I'm telling you, I completely trust Severus Snape. I think for the fact that I totally trust Dumbledore, I'm going to take his word that he totally trusts Snape. I think Snape was just put in a bad position. I think Snape was put in a really just hard place.
And for the good of the wizarding community, you think Dumbledore would be like, yeah, just get rid of me. You guys will be fine without me.
Listen, it doesn't make sense.
That might as well be like, no. Just go in the annex. That's where all the Jews are. Just do that. Just take them. And then it's like, that
take my Jews. Take my Jews.
Yeah, Dumbledore was the keeper of the annex, and you just killed him.
I don't know why I think this. I can't say it's a sound thought that I'm having, but for some reason, I truly think Snape is a good guy.
Was it the conversation? I don't remember what he said. The conversation overheard by Hagrid? Remember Hagrid overheard them fighting about something?
Yeah.
I don't remember what they were fighting about, though.
I don't know.
Well,
this is how I feel. And I might be totally off. But as we know, I've been pretty right about a lot of things. So I'm going to stick with my gut feeling.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. We fucking wrap up the death of Dumbledore. Draco Malfoy did
unreal. I mean, I can't fucking fathom what's going to happen in these next 3 chapters.
I also, how much faith does Dumbledore have in Snape that he's like, not only will I be dead and you'll be left as a double agent, you are now going to have to face the wrath of Voldemort because you stepped in and took away this job from Draco Malfoy, which was very frowned upon.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next either. That's a lie, but it's fun to pretend, isn't it?
Yeah, you're good at it.
Listen, you guys, I actually just really don't remember the 6th and the 7th books that much. If you haven't been following along with us live, you can. Patreon.com/twofilthynerds. We have some fun banter going on. You've missed a lot of talk about the Son of Sam in between breaks and other fun things like that. Leave us a rating and a review. Have you subscribed yet? Go to your podcast app on your iPhone or whatever place you listen to podcasts. Subscribe. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. Join our Patreon. If we get to $20,000 by the end of this month, I will tattoo skid marks on my butthole.
And I will too. I'm gonna do it on my inner thigh, like the poop just fell down my leg.
Yeah.
Like a Dumbo drop of poop.
A weird mole.
It's a birthmark, okay?
I'll just get a full on the little poop emoji.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Although skid marks is funnier. Whatever.
Skid marks
we'll let
is
you
funnier.
guys. If we get
I want the skid marks in the way
month,
that you can look at it and be like, you just want to like your thumb and try to rub it off like a bubby, like an old Jewish lady. Come here, honey.
There's some schmutz on your butt.
You got some schmutz on your ass.
Schmutz
on your tuchus. Schmutz on your tuchus.
Yeah. So
by the way, tuchus is Yiddish. Just so you know.
Tuchus. Good to know. We're only nearly $20,000 short of our $20,000 goal. So join Patreon.
Let us get those skid marks.
Yes, and go follow us at Two Filthy Nerds. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We also have a YouTube page where we're putting up some fun clips. More in the new year, this year, 2021.
In 2021, where big things are happening. Oh,
yes.
Shit, I'm tired. I'm going to read more.
God, you're a loser. All right, we're out.
Bye.